When you go back to work next time, if you've been working from home or kind of doing a hybrid sort of thing, there may be a message that your boss has for you, and you may not like it. Joel Patterson is a workplace expert with the Vested Group, joins us live this morning. Joel, sounds like the pressure is on to come back to work and stay at work, huh?
Yeah, good morning, Andrew. I think that is definitely the case. As we head into whatever this year is going to be, whether it's a recession or a downturn or maybe everything will just be great. Who really knows at this point?
Who knows, right?
The reality is that as things shift away from where we've been over the last couple of years, employers are starting to get just a little bit more leverage on whether or not people work from home or continue to or head back to the office. You might have seen yesterday, Disney came out with a pretty significant statement about getting people back to the office and the lack of the ability to really instill creativity when you're not in the same room together. And that's starting to create a lot of noise, because really what it's going to take to get people back to the office with any consistency is some of these large organizations digging in. And they've tried, Apple and Amazon and all the big ones have tried at one time or another to get people back to the office with not very much success. But as you see the labor market shift, as you see what's going on with the economy, it's bound to create a little bit less leverage for the employee in regards to where they actually spend their days during the week.
And while I agree with you 100%, there is the counter argument that we're still in a situation where in some industries that it is still very much the job candidates market, that they can say, listen, I want to work from home 4 days a week. And if there are only a few candidates and that person is the best one, wouldn't it seem more likely than not that they're going to be able to write their own ticket?
Yeah, I mean, that's what employers still have to face. I mean, it's still an interesting market. It's not like it was 5 or 10 years ago for sure. But you really got to look at whether or not it's worth it. For some businesses, it will be. I think for some businesses, they will maintain a 100% work from home environment and not suffer for it. But a lot of businesses aren't going to be able to have that. You look at just new employees coming in or people graduating from high school or college and going into the workforce.
Right.
How do you get them to understand your culture, what you're about, the purpose of that organization, and what their job is when they're just remote? And we're starting to see some slippage around that. Now, it doesn't mean that we're doing a wholesale change back to everybody get to the office 100% of the week. We're never going back to that. But getting to some sort of hybrid that is stated, that is agreed upon, that people are actually following, doesn't sound like that would be difficult, but that's been a really big challenge for leaders over the last few years and trying to make it up as we go. And now we've just got one more thing we got to throw at it and see where we land over the next few months.
Yeah, and you make a great point. I often wonder about, those just exiting college right now who've never really had to go to an office, and for the foreseeable future, they may not. At some point, that may change, and then you're going to have a whole generation of folks who are like, wait, what? What is this? What's a cubicle?
Yeah, you look at
go ahead.
Going back to education. I mean, education is another one that I think is a real struggle. Is how do you want to provide the same opportunities for teachers that other people may have with how flexible their arrangements are, but we've also seen that hasn't been great for our kids. So, there's just so many decisions I don't want to have to make, but they're really critical to how we kind of play this out over the next, well, really forever, but in particular the rest of this year.
Yeah, and I guess the takeaway is for each person, it's going to be, the argument that they can make to their employer about why they should be able to do what they want to do. Sometimes that will work. Often, I imagine, it will not. Joel Patterson, thanks for joining us this morning. He's a workplace expert with the Vested Group.